Next up on our 2024-2025 CVC Winter Sports Media Day Tour is the Madison Blue Streaks boys basketball team. Head coach Nick Gustin, the defending Lake Division champion Blue Streaks, I should have said. But Coach, welcome. I appreciate you taking some time out of the day to preview the season. Why don't you give us a quick preview? What can we expect out of the Blue Streaks?
Well, first of all, thanks for having us again. And it's hard to believe basketball season's already here. So this season, we expect to compete once again for that Lake Division title. Our division's changed a little bit with the loss of Harvey and Perry, so we're down to 6 teams instead of 8, with some really good quality schools that have really solid returning players, and we'll have to play our best every night that we have a conference game to hopefully repeat as those the Lake Division conference champions.
Well, the elephant in the room is, how do you replace a JP Dragas? I don't think you can replace him, but you have to find a way to strategize to kind of pick up some of that production.
Well, you really don't. I mean, and it's not so much the production on the game in and game out. It's what he did at practice and helping these guys prepare and teaching these guys, just how hard you have to work to be at a high level every game that is scheduled for you. So, yeah, you can't really replace that. But I think Mac and Dom and Landon and Nolan really learned how to practice, how to prepare, and how to make themselves better. So hopefully that can trickle down, and those guys learned a little bit from them. So, and how do we combat that? The one thing that we'll be able to do is run a little bit more offense. It was always something a little different every night. We had to kind of figure out on the fly. And these guys did a great job last year doing that. And this year we can really get more into how we run our offense, how we execute our offense, and how efficient we can be within that offense. And then on the defensive side, that's kind of what we hang our hat on. And if we can be good defensively, I think our offense will take care of itself.
Outstanding. All right, Coach, I'll come back to you after I talk to the guys. Let's start with Mac. Mac, for the folks at home, just introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
My name is Max Steele. I'm a point guard, and I'm a senior this year.
All right, so Mac coming in senior year. You won a conference title as a junior. How important is it to you to defend that title this season?
It's really important to me because I like the feeling of it. Besides, we haven't won one, and we won 3 in, since 1984. So winning that last year felt really good, and I definitely want to be able to have that feeling again and repeat. So it's very important to me.
Obviously, JP played a key role in that success last year. You're the point guard this year. So what are you doing to kind of maximize the offense this year without him?
I'm just saying, get guys more involved, kind of spread it out. I don't think we're going to have one guy scoring a bunch every night. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of, I'd say that.
All right. And then just looking at this season, you've got a lot of competition in that Lake Division, even with the loss of Perry, still a lot of competition. What's it going to take for this team to just go out and compete night in and night out?
I think we're going to have to be the best defensive team every night. That's how we won a lot of games last year. Obviously we had JP who could score a lot, but a lot of it came on our defensive end, and that defensive end, it turns into points, when we get run out layups, that's when we're at our best. So that's what it's going to take.
Give me a breakout player, someone you think is going to have a big year this season, and why?
I think a player that's going to have a breakout year is Dakota Oftenberg. He's kind of came under the radar at the beginning of the season, but he's been, playing really well at the big spot for us, and he's been doing his thing. So.
All right. And what are your goals for senior year, individual and for your team?
I don't really have any individual goals that I want to accomplish other than, just being a good leader and, just being there for my teammates. But, I just want to win a conference championship. That's my number one goal. And then win a playoff game or two, and see how far we can go in the playoffs.
All right. Well, good luck to you this winter. Dom, on to you. Name, grade, and position.
Dominic Magda. I play the 2 guard, and I'm a senior.
All right, coming in senior year, you got to be excited about that. You're going to graduate soon, but at the same time, it gets you closer to the end of your high school career every time you step on the court. So how are you kind of managing those dueling emotions?
I feel like right now you just kind of got to block it out. beginning of the season. So just put that in the back of your mind and just work through the season kind of like it's not your last. And then, kind of deal with those emotions when the time comes, because most importantly, it's time to get ready, lock in, and win games.
Both Coach and Mac talked about the defense being a key element of the Blue Streaks this year. What's the key to getting that unit going?
I would say one of the keys is definitely communication. Right now, we're dealing with a lot of guys, a lot of new guys, because we graduated a decent amount last year. So being able to build a connection and, get used to talking, communicating on the floor with those guys. I think that's probably the biggest part about defense is just communication and then hustle as well, diving on the ball, getting loose balls, doing what we do.
Who are some of the guys that are making the most of their opportunities in practice on that defensive end?
I would say one of them for sure would be Josh Picar. He's a junior, he's a little smaller guard, but he hustles and he plays really hard. I mean, he's a guy I love having on the floor. I mean, he fights for your back. Nolan Albert as well. He hustles very hard, always on the floor, always getting rebounds, always getting checked. He'll take a hit for anybody on the team. So,
all right. And what are your goals for the year, individually and as a team?
I say individually, I just want to make sure I stay healthy. I mean, I think that's a really important goal. That way, I just make it through the whole season. And then for team, like Max said, I want to make sure we win the conference champion again. I think that would be a great thing to accomplish. Go back to back, and I think it would really turn the program around.
Sounds good. Good luck to you this winter. All right, Coach, back at you. Talk to the guys a little bit about some of the other guys on the team who've been impressive. Who's impressed you with their work ethic so far?
Well, I like, as Max said, Dakota Offenberg. He's kind of been a nice, pleasant surprise. A very underrated athlete. We see his athleticism every day in practice. He's learning how to put the ball in the basket, and he doesn't say a whole lot, and he just goes out and does the job that's asked of him. And the one thing about really all these guys is they're extremely coachable, and they listen most of the time what we want, how we want to play, and what we want done. And then on the other side of it, it's really there's a thing that we finally got. We got along with Dakota, we have a sophomore in Jack Collins and a junior in Parker Williams, and that gives us some length and some size we haven't had. And then, to take that a little step farther, that'll help us defensively with rebounds. Our guards now can defend a little harder and not have to worry about getting in there and rebounding all the time, even though it's nice when Mac pulls down 10 and Dom pulls down 6. That's a huge bonus for us. And then lastly, we really need someone to step up and shoot the ball consistently. And we have that kind of in a mix in a sophomore and Brendan Tittman. So it's all the pieces and parts are there. It's just a matter of, like Dom and Max said, getting them to see how they fit, see how they work together. And then the communication, I agree with Dom. That is key for us going into the season. We have to be able to communicate. And on defense, is extremely important, but also on offense. The one thing I really noticed in our scrimmages and in our practices is how, all 9 guys are able to communicate with each other on the offensive side too. And that's going to be I think a key for us going forward also.
And last one for you is every team dreams of winning a state title. The guys talked about defending their conference title. You don't have to have those things happen to have a successful season. So how will you define success this year for your squad?
For our team, I think it's just we talking about the journey and not the destination. So if we can enjoy that journey and win as many games as possible, obviously, a state championship might be a little out of reach for us, but the conference and winning a game or two in the sectional and district would be a huge thing. But it's just to enjoy the journey and enjoy the time together with the guys. And if you win a bunch of games, that's a bonus, because this is a really good group that's come a long way from freshmen, through their senior year, and they got some good parts and pieces coming behind them that can help them out. So it's just to enjoy the journey. That's how I see the season if it will be a success.
Outstanding. All right, Coach. Well, I appreciate you and the guys taking some time out of your day to preview the season. I wish you the best of luck this winter.
Yep. Thank you. Appreciate it now.
Thank you.
Thank you.